everyone. Welcome to LexTalk World Talk Show presented by Clickway Creators. Today we have Advocate Kanchan Talreja with us. She has worked with leading legal firms armed with significant experience. She started her own practice in 2016. She specializes in family law, criminal law, testamentary suits, and non-litigation drafting. So let's talk to her state and get some more insights. Hello, Ms. Kanchan. Thank you for joining us today.
Good evening. Good evening. How are you doing, Abhishek, this evening?
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm doing great. So shall we start with your interview now?
Yes, sure.
Wonderful. So can you please give a quick introduction to our audience, like how you started your journey in the legal field?
Okay. So actually, I started my career in the diamond business. A few years down the line, I made a switch into law. I found my true calling in law. Today, I am so much more satisfied with my workday, knowing that I have made so many lives better. I have made justice accessible to the underprivileged, and hence my career is my passion today. That's it.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So we have seen a lot of changes in the pandemic, and pandemic saw some court begin moving towards more remote proceedings nowadays. So is this sustainable according to you and a possible way to increase access to justice?
Yeah, in this era of COVID and social distancing, yes, the world has moved towards the virtual platform. So we have trial and litigation conducted through virtual media, and it has worked very well during, the peak of pandemics. Justice has been accessible to all. We've been able to overcome geographical barriers thanks to the virtual platform and virtual trials. However, in developing nations like ours, sadly but truly, the rural areas do not have access to unhindered internet. They do not have access to smart devices. They do not have resources. And hence, the virtual platform has not worked well for them. It has created a lot of glitches and challenges for them. Hence, for developing countries, it is important that we create a balance between the hybrid system of virtual platform and physical hearings. We as lawyers ourselves are encouraging virtual meetings, but when we have to reach out to the underprivileged, we have to have a physical meeting. Similarly, in courts, we cannot deny the importance of physical hearings during litigation. And
That's
hence,
true.
I think what will work best is creating that perfect balance, an effective balance in the hybrid system.
I completely agree with you on this. So as we are talking about the technology, so what are the most common used tools for you in your profession?
Okay, this list can go on because technology has really made our work easier. We are not doing any mechanical work anymore. We are spending most of our time in research, planning, strategizing. Having said that, I think there are about 3 or 4 tools that I would like to mention here. One is obviously the Microsoft Office tools. As basic as it seems, most law firms are, Microsoft Office tools has been an effective tool to the success of most law firms, whether it being drafting, storage of data, uh, collating of figures, dealing with numbers. Microsoft tools has worked miraculously for us. Then comes the iCloud platform where we store our documents that are drafted. Most of these documents contain very sensitive personal and professional information. We cannot afford to lose any content from any document. Corruption is a big hurdle for us. If a single page is corrupted, it can invalidate the whole document. The kind of work we do, the digital platform, iCloud really helps us to store all of this data and keep it safe. So platforms like the Google Drive or the iCloud is used regularly for saving up our information and data. Then, of course, with the COVID, like you said earlier, virtual hearings, so video sharing applications. We are ourselves are encouraging clients to have meetings on the virtual platform through these applications. So had these applications not been available to us, we would be at a loss. It is
Yeah.
thanks to these applications that our job has been very effective. Our work has not slowed down. We've been able to reach out to each and every client, even during the peak of pandemic. And of course, there is virtual hearing in courts, and hence we are using only these video sharing applications for that. And I think one more that I would really like to mention is the editing and automation software, something like Grammarly that we are using. Most often, the drafts that we create are created to tell the story of our client to the court. We write this story not because our client should be understood by the court, but because they should not be misunderstood. Hence, the structure of the document, the sentences, the words that we use have to be formulated in a manner which is most effective. The document has to be devoid of any mistakes, any errors, and hence tools like Grammarly really comes to our aid. So I think I would like to mention only about these 4 tools, which is used extensively by us on a daily basis.
Yes. That's the new one I've heard of. I think communication is the best way to deliver your message. I think Grammarly can be a right fit for this.
Yes, it works wonders.
So my next question would be, like, does legal industry have enough female lawyers, especially in times when the rate of divorce or dowry or domestic violence cases are on the rise? What's
So
your take on this?
before I answer this, what is your take on it? I mean, we've just had an event in Dubai, and what did you
Yes.
feel?
Uh, I'm not talking about the legal industry, but yes, in other industries also, I think we should empower female also.
Right. So I
Yes.
did pass a statement on stage while I was receiving my award. But coming back to answering your question, no, we do not have enough female advocates, which is a sad part. I would
Right.
like to differentiate this into developing and developed countries, because in developing countries, we see like countries like India and China, we have only 5% female workforce in the legal industry in India, whereas in China, that percentage is at 20.
Wow.
However, a lot of developed countries, almost close to 52 countries, have a population of 30% female advocates in the legal industry. Now, having said that, we as a country need to encourage our female population to walk our path of law. Our ceremony, I mean, our event that we had in Dubai itself had not more than 20% female advocates as awardees. So, I mean, we need to impart more of our legal knowledge, encourage women to take up this field so that we at least at some point are at par with the men population in this industry.
Yeah, definitely. We should really do something on
Yes.
this. Yes.
Especially in these sensitive times when divorce, domestic violence, I feel as a woman, we can handle such matters with more sensitivity. It encourages our clients to open up and talk to us. So, yes, we need a lot more female population in our field.
Yes. That makes me to ask you another question on this. How to make legal industry in the near future as the top 3 career options for students all over the world?
Okay, so I think the what's running right now is startups. That's doing very well. Every child, I mean, a young adult, not child, wants to get into a startup. A few years ago, the only professions or career options that were given to us either be an engineer or a doctor or maybe a computer scientist. I mean, lawyer was never an option that was easily available to us, even through our parents. It is so easy if we suffer from flu or jaundice or malaria, without a hesitance, we go to a doctor. But when our society is suffering from ailments of injustice, which could be as simple as a bias or a nepotism, or as grave as domestic violence, rape, murder, dowry harassment, why are we hesitant to approach lawyers? It is only because of the stigma that's associated with it. This is what we need to change. How can we change that? By imparting legal knowledge to the young minds. We need to start this from school. Law needs to be taught in school. Basic human rights, our constitution needs to be shared with young adults so that they are encouraged. They need to realize what their rights are. I mean, like the saying goes, if we are not going to stand up for our human rights, for our basic rights, no one will. And hence, it is important that we impart legal knowledge at a young age to encourage young adults to walk our path.
Very well said. Very well said, ma'am. So, ma'am, time is money in any profession, and in legal, it's most of all. So, how do you ensure to make the best of your time as a lawyer?
Yeah, so we lawyers are also running the rat race. Apart from struggling to get justice, make justice accessible. Having said that, I, as a lawyer, I don't think I have a regular 9 to 5 job. And most lawyers today are working about 50 to 60 hours on an average in a week. This is because of the kind of obligations that our profession demands. So a typical day, I mean, my typical day looks like 6 hours of peaceful sleep, 1 hour of rigorous workout, so that our focus and energy levels are high all day round. Our lunch hour, the 1 hour that we get, is usually not a leisure hour, but it is an hour that we spend with our associates on a community table, where we open up several matters to discussion. We encourage new views on matters. Early evening, we have a 15 or 20-minute coffee break, where that is the time we actually spend reflecting on the day's work and what has to be achieved on the next day. Having said that, and I think I speak for my fraternity, we work on ourselves on a daily basis to improve, to be more effective. I especially work on my own know-how of the digital platform so that I am not caught up in mechanical work. I mean, having said that, I'm open to any more suggestions from you as to how we can make our time.
I think it's a very effective way. I think that's the best way to describe a day.
Thank you.
Because you have completed the entire thing, like communicating with your colleagues, also a very efficient way to look after your work. That's the right way to project a day, I can say. So, Advocate Kanchan, it's a pleasure to having with you. It's a pleasure to having you with us today, and thank you so much for sharing such great insights with us.
Thank you for inviting me, Abhishek.
Yes, and we look forward to having a chat with you again in the future on some trending topics in the international legal business. And yes, and for viewers, if you like this chat, please like and share this video, and also subscribe to Clickaway Creators YouTube channel. We appreciate what we do, and you have more coming from the industry. This is Abhishek for LexTalk.